Shion followed up quickly, having sensed the foreigners in Tomitake-san's words. Tomitake-san, embarrassed at what he said, scratched at his head. So this shrine worships Oyashiro-sama, thinks of Hinamizawa as holy ground, and it's a symbol of their traditional hatred for the outside world.
なるほど。だから、下界からやってきた汚れたダム計画に立ち向かうために、hinamizawa沢の守り神様の神社に本陣を置いたと。
Correct, smiled Takano, pleased. She must dislike stupid people.
円担ぎも万端。村人たちは視力を尽くしてダム計画に立ち向かうんだ。その最中なんだよ。事実上、あの事件でとどめが入ったと言ってもいい。
Oyashiro-sama's curse.
hinamizawaダムの建設現場の監督がですね、4年前かな。結構派手に新聞に載ったんですけど、覚えてません？
ちょっと知らないな。
部下と喧嘩して、つるはしでめった打ちにされて、両手両足、首をもいで捨てられたんだそうです。
バラバラ殺人だよ。
Such a gruesome instant. But it was just that, an instant. A person caused the instant after all. Should they really put it down to a curse?
その翌年にはね、hinamizawa沢の住人でありながらダム推進派のグループを結成していた男がね、旅行先で崖から落ちて死んじゃったの。これは事故だそうよ。
何しろhinamizawa沢中から敵視されていたからね。警察もかなり念入りに他殺の線を洗ったんだけど、結局事故と断定したみたいだよ。
Now it's an accident. This is the most curse-like one, but it's still far-fetched.
さらに翌年、今度はね、この神社の神主さんが原因不明の病で倒れて急死しちゃったの。
前の神主さんは、こう言っちゃ失礼ですけど、ちょっと日和見な人だったんですよね。村中が反ダムで盛り上がってるのに、神主さんは放っておけみたいな感じで。抵抗運動の象徴である神社の神主さんがそんな感じなんだからね。リーダーシップを期待していた当時の村人たちは失望し、中には怒りを抱く人たちもいたそうよ。だから当時年寄り連中はみんな言ったんです。これはお社様のたたりだってね。
It did seem like every year, dam-related people at the village had resentment towards or dying. It was pretty creepy.
しかもね、面白いことにこれらの事件や事故は毎年必ず綿流しのお祭りの晩に起こるんだよ。
Weird, isn't it?
ね、ちょっとたたりっぽくなってきたでしょ。
さらに翌年、つまり去年だね。今度は事故死したダム推進派のリーダー格の男の弟夫婦の奥さんが撲殺死体で発見されちゃったんだ。もちろん犯人は捕まったけどね。
ね、やっぱりたたりっぽいでしょ。
4 years in a row. Each one of the incidents and accidents were relatively commonplace. But every single one of them happening on the night of the festival worshipping Oyashiro-sama? That's definitely not normal.
年寄り連中はこの数年の事件ですっかりお社様のたたりを盲信しちゃって、若い人たちだって最初はバカにしてましたけど、今は誰も茶化しませんね。
Yeah, I can see where she's coming from. Even me, even if I didn't think there was a curse at all, thinking about all the instances like this makes me feel like maybe it's real.
例えば今日のお祭り準備にしてもそうさ。ダムとの戦いで荒れていたとはいえ、何年か前までは 綿流しはそんなに盛況していたわけじゃないんだよ。
まあそうですね。お社様のたたりの話がなかったらこんなにお祭りには集まりませんね。不信心者には罰が当たるかもしれない。だからお社様のお祭りには必ず出ようって言ってる人たち多いです。
Shion nodded as if she were mocking herself. This does make it sound like one of those goofy ass god mythology type things where some gods they can be quite quirky. They would want the people to go to their festival, so they scare them the fuck like all the way into making them go to the festival. But I guess on a more serious way, maybe Oyashiro-sama is just really lonely or is really sad. So this way of doing it, even if it's a bad way of doing it, it assures people that they would go to the festival, so that Oyashiro would be with their people, all happily like that.
どうかな。圭一君もひょっとしてたたりは本当にあるのではという気になってきたんじゃないかな。
Like sort of like a doing it with good intentions, but like doing it in the wrong way. I mean, you can't just let off people related to the damn construction project all dying like that. If even I feel like this now, then the more superstitious members of the village must feel stronger than that.
まあそれでもたたりなんかないと思ってます。ですけど信じる人たちの気持ちもわかるつもりです。
さすがケイちゃんは冷静に判断できてますね。
Shion grinned, realizing I rejected a curse.
たたりでもなく偶然のはずもないなら、さてこれらの事件はどういうことになるのかしらね。
Is it murder? Takano-san said, smiling playfully, as if posing a riddle. Neither a curse nor a coincidence, but every year someone dies. What should we make of that then? Tomitake-san, catching on to the fact that I had no idea what to make of it, opened his mouth and came to my aid.
高野さんはね、人間の仕業かもしれないって言ってるんだよ。
Eh? Simple process of elimination would have gotten me there. I was a little taken aback at not having realized the answer immediately.
だってそうでしょ。たたりでもなく偶然でもないなら、人の意志が働いてるとしか考えられないもの。
Takano-san pressed on. I smiled bitterly in spite of myself. Here I was just a few minutes ago, thinking the very concept of a curse was absolutely absurd. When she suggested it was someone's doing, I ended up thinking there wasn't any way it could be a person. But Takano-san was right. It was either a curse or it was a person's doing. If unrealistic things like curses didn't exist, then the obvious next step would be to start thinking it was people behind it. But if that were the case, I glanced at Shion.
人間が犯人なら確かにHinamizawaの誰かが犯人なんでしょうね。現に警察の大石さんはそう見てますから。
おいおい、そんなわけあるのかよ。
I thought I knew the reason Mion didn't want to talk about this. If Oyashiro-sama's curse really existed, then that's fine. It would be divine judgment for the damn project business. However, if Oyashiro-sama's curse didn't exist, which obviously it didn't, then the culprit would most likely be someone from Hinamizawa. And let's not forget that they didn't really talk about the boy that went missing like last year, which doesn't really have much connection. And, the death of Tomitake in the first chapter, they are a little bit more unrelated to the damn project. As of now, though, based on the description that they offer right now, they're only talking about people that were connected to the dam project in some way. So the villagers had worked desperately to oppose the dam construction project. I knew they had used all sorts of methods to fight against it. If one of those methods was, maybe...
お社様のたたりはダム計画抵抗運動の暗部じゃないかってささやかれてるんです。
secret group in the dam resistance movement. Sean dryly put words to my exact thoughts. Of course, I didn't expect it. She was from Hinamizawa, so I didn't think she'd come out and say it herself.
ちょっと落ち着いて考えれば、誰が見たってHinamizawaの誰かの仕業だってわかることです。ダム工事に反対して得をする人以外、動機がないじゃないですか。
それはそうだけど。
Admitting to the existence of a darker side of the dam conflict would be rude to Mion, who spoke of it so highly. So I couldn't just accept Shion's seemingly logical viewpoint.
それにね、警察の人は知らないだろうけど、Hinamizawaの人間にはわかるHinamizawaの人間の犯行だという証拠があるんです。
Really now?
え？
Shion rebukes me to keep my voice down.
ごめん。でもその証拠って一体。
必ず一人が死んでもう一人が消えるからです。
One more person disappears. Did that mean that someone besides the one who died from the curse was a sacrifice?
消えるって意味がよくわからないな。それは失踪するって意味か？
そうです。忽然と跡形もなく。
As she spoke, Shion pretended to do a trick with her hands, like she were making a magician's hat disappear. One dies mysterious death, and one disappears, never to be seen again. A strange vanishing act. But then why? How does that equate to someone from Hinamizawa being the culprit?
実はね。
Yeah, that's a good point. Like, I know that, but is there some proof that I'm not aware of?
Hinamizawaの古い伝統の一つにね。お社様の怒りを鎮めるために生贄を捧げたというのがあるの。
生贄？
ええ。すまきにされて底なし沼に生きたままじわじわと時間をかけて沈めたんです。
Takano-san, for explaining something pretty terrible, has a look of glee on her face as she did so. You know, I guess I should have thought of this possibility as well. Besides the ones that I've done for the investigation video, maybe there are just some religious nuts who are fanatics of Oyashiro that are doing all this. Like, I keep talking about the secret organization and all that stuff, but when I was thinking about that, I guess I was thinking from a more technological perspective, because of the, you know, the Higurashi and the, like, subliminal images thing and the drugs and all that. That's why I was thinking of them as more technological as well. But from a more religious perspective, it still makes you question how they done it, though.
文献を調べた限りでは3日3晩をかけて本当にゆっくりとじわじわと沈めたそうよ。ほら、昔の人って結構ダジャレが好きでしょ？
3 days and 3 nights.
沈めるをかけてたんだと思うの。だから時間をかけて沈めるという意味があったんでしょうね。
Takano-san was the only one laughing at this. Was she telling a joke or something? Shion didn't move to deny it, but I felt a difference in temperature between her cold expression and Takano-san's.
この辺の話はまあ聞いて想像がつくと思いますけど、Hinamizawaの秘史です。 ひなみ沢に昔からいる人なら誰でも知ってますが、それを口に出すことはありませんね。
高野さんはひなみ沢出身じゃないけどね、詳しいだろ。彼女は郷土史とか民間伝承とかが好きでね。
うんうん。
全部独学で調べたんだよ。
そんなにかっこいいものじゃないのよ。単なる知的好奇心。子供と同じよ。ただの怖いもの見たさ程度なんだから。
You indeed have that Eva energy a little bit. Tomitake-san laughed, a little bit embarrassed.
ちょっと待ってください。ってことは何ですか？事件のたびに消えるという一人は生贄に捧げられているって言うんですか？
Yeah. Shion answers in one word before anyone else can speak. Someone dies, and then someone disappears.
本当に生贄にされてるかどうかは別にして、過去の事件では必ず一人が死ぬ他に一人が消えてるんだよ。例えば一番最初のダム現場の監督が殺された事件も、複数犯のうちの最後の一人が未だ逮捕されてないらしいんだ。
それは単にうまく逃げおおせてるだけなんじゃないんですか？別に生贄にされたというのとは違うのでは。
まあ僕もそうだとは思うんだけどね。で次の年のダム推進派のリーダー格の男なんだけど、
確か旅行先で崖から落ちて亡くなったんですよね。
落ちたのは奥さんも一緒らしいの。警察は懸命に捜索したんだけど、どうしても奥さんの遺体だけ見つけられないんですって。崖下の川は増水してたそうだからね。どこか川下の湖の湖底で土砂にでも埋まってしまったのかもしれないけどね。
The perpetrator of a dismemberment like that wouldn't want to be caught, so they'd be desperate to run away and hide too. I thought I'd heard about cases where the corpse wouldn't surface after a person drowned in a swelled river like that. She vanished because of an unfortunate accident, but I still didn't see the connection to sacrifices. If you took each of the past incidents in turn, none of the disappearances evoked that terrifying of an image.
その翌年の神主の病死の時ははっきりしてます。奥さんが遺書を残したんです。死んでお社様のお怒りを鎮めに参りますってな感じのが、神主さんが亡くなった晩に自宅に残されてたそうですから。
The curse seems to turn up in this one though.
まあ真相は闇の中なんだけどね。その奥さんが受水自殺した沼は、さっき高野さんも話した例のでっかい底なし沼ってことになっててね。警察も沼を調べたそうだけど、遺品がいくつか見つかっただけで遺体は発見できなかった。警察は偽装自殺を疑って今でも探してるらしいよ。
Someone dies every year, in the same way someone goes missing every year. Is she trying to tell me that everyone who vanished was kidnapped by some extremely efficient means and dumped into the bottomless swamp, still alive, and drowned to death? But a curse? That's unbelievable in its own right. There is that point as well, yeah. It's not something that I mentioned during the investigation video, but yeah, like one of the more common things when it comes to those who are disappearing, it has something to do with the lake/swamp, them drowning and such.
その翌年にはなんだっけ、ダム推進派の男の弟夫婦の奥さんだっけが殺されたんだよな。
So at that time, someone else vanished?
消えました。北条聡君っていう私と同い年の男の子です。殺された主婦の義理の甥にあたります。
Can you tell me like a little bit of details? Can you tell me some details about how he disappeared? Sean cut in with a slightly strong tone of voice. She knew the boy who had disappeared pretty well. At least that's the vibe I was getting.
まあざっとこんな感じね。必ず一人が死んで必ず一人が忽然と消える。
Leaving the suddenness aside, the fact was that each incident involved one person disappearing.
じゃあつまり一人目が死ぬのはお社様のたたりで、二人目が失踪するのは村人が生贄に捧げてるからだって言うんですか？
どうにかくし。
ケイちゃん、たたりなんかないです。誰かがお社様のたたりという名で一人目を殺し、誰かがその生贄として二人目をさらってるんです。
でもシオン、それじゃあ村の中に犯人がいるってことになるんだぞ。
私は初めからそう睨んでます。結構ショックですよ。この昭和の時代にそんな古い因習で人殺しが堂々と行われるなんて。
It didn't have anything to do with our discussion, but I got a feeling that maybe Sean didn't like Hinamizawa very much. Well, she does live outside the Hinamizawa. She is not as connected to this place as, say, Mion. Mion enjoyed talking about Hinamizawa and its epic tales, so she had avoided talking about Oyashiro-sama's curse, which didn't paint Hinamizawa in a good light no matter how you looked at it. She was trying not to give me a bad impression of the village, so she didn't say anything. Shion, on the other hand, was somehow different. She wasn't rejecting the concept of a curse to purge Hinamizawa of this bad impression, but rather because she strongly believed that a member of the village was the criminal behind this. Her conviction seemed a bit removed from the tight sense of community held by the people of Hinamizawa. Yeah, which she clearly showed on the contrary like before, with the people saving Keiichi from those hoodlums. And this is on the contrary. Once upon a time, it looked so alike you could mistake one for the other. But talking to her now, I was getting a powerful feeling that Shion had a completely different personality than Mion.
じゃあ皆さんはHinamizawaの誰かが犯人だと思ってるんですね。
Neither Shion nor Takano-san answered that. The deafening silence told me all that needed to be said.
じゃあ重ねて質問します。Hinamizawaの誰かが犯人なら、犯人は誰なんですか？
Neither Shion nor Takano had a reply to that question either. Though it may have been rude to ask, I had hoped they wouldn't have one. And the reason I asked was to argue that their explanation that the culprit was from Hinamizawa was nothing more than one possibility. Shion caught on to my plan. She gave a pained smile at my petty spite and opened her mouth to speak.
私が言ったのは所詮状況証拠ですからね。具体的に犯人の名前を知ってたなら警察に突き出してます。
As would anybody. And what about Takano-san? She too smiled dryly as Shion had and opened her mouth.
はじめに誤解を解いておきたいんだけど、別に私は探偵さんのつもりはないのよ。本音を言うとね、犯人が誰かなんてことには興味ないの。
高野さんも困った人だな。
Tomitake-san gives a bitter laugh at her surprising opinion on the matter.
私はね、古式ゆかしい残酷な風習やおとぎ話に興味があるだけ。知的好奇心で面白がってるだけなの。だから一連の事件も犯人は誰かってことよりも、事件の存在自体が、古い因習がまだ根深く残ってることの証拠だって思って面白がってるくらい。
Though she described herself as nothing more than a curious onlooker, her smile was as sharp as the tip of the blade. Women like her felt very strange and a little scary to me. Maybe it's just that I was in a fearful awe of the person whose emotions I couldn't comprehend.
私は全然面白くないですけどね。明日はいよいよ綿流しのお祭りですけど、誰にも死んでほしくないし、誰も消えてほしくないです。
明日か。
That's right. Yeah, completely slipped my mind. The string of murder incidents people attributed to Yashiro-sama's curse. It wasn't over. If last year's incident wasn't the end, then tomorrow night at the festival, would someone die and someone disappear?
明日は一体誰が死んで誰が消えるのかしらね。
Takano-san said, running a comb through her hair with elegant movements, with a thin smile and a voice that nearly made me shudder. She almost looked like she was enjoying the thought of the incident that could happen tomorrow. And then, out of the blue, we heard a loud round of applause. They seemed to be ending the drinking party early. Right. I was making Mion wait this whole time, wasn't I? I should go back to her soon.
高野さんもからかいすぎだよ。圭一君がすっかり真に受けてしまったじゃないか。
You're not helping out, Tomitake. And you, Shion. Like, you know, if you don't think that this isn't like you're not doing this on purpose, you're basically scaring this kid that you just met.
ごめんなさいね。また悪い癖が出ちゃったみたい。
Same goes for you, Takano, said Takano-san, sticking out her tongue bashfully. And the strangeness in her expression was nowhere to be found.
高野さんはね、純粋そうな子を見るとからかいたくなる悪い癖があるんだよ。圭一君が真剣に聞いてくれるもんだから、ついつい調子に乗っちゃったみたいなんだ。
Unlike Takano-san, Tomitake-san seemed like a totally normal person with common sense. They were apologizing after realizing what kind of impression they gave me.
高野さんが今した話はあくまでもフィクションだからね。もしもさっきの話で圭一君がひなみ沢に持ってたいい印象が傷つけられてしまったなら、純粋に申し訳なく思うよ。
もう二郎さんたら。
高野さんも謝った方がいい。怖がらせてしまってごめんなさいってね。
Takano-san and Tomitake-san were arguing and messing around now. And the strain there around us had already dissipated.
ケイちゃんもそろそろ戻った方がいいです。お姉は嫉妬深いですからね。私は顔を合わせると喧嘩になりそうだから、このまま帰ることにします。
そうなのか？じゃあ俺はミオンのとこに戻って待たせたことを謝るかな。
迷惑をかけたね、圭一君。ミオンちゃんに圭一君を長く借りすぎて申し訳ないと伝えてくれないかな。
あ、はい。伝えても機嫌は直さないと思いますけど、一応。
Tomitake-san and Takano-san, standing next to each other, both began to chuckle.
じゃあね、ケイちゃん。明日のお祭り、どこかですれ違えるといいですね。
Alrighty then.
会えるよ。どうせ俺たちのことだ。賑やかにやってるに決まってる。
Shion and I said our goodbyes to Tomitake-san and Takano-san. Before we could leave, Takano-san called out to us.
私の話を真剣に聞いてくれてありがとうね。前原くんがあまりに聞き上手だったんで、話しててとても楽しかったわ。
Yeah, and we had a good time listening to your stories as well, Takano.
聞き上手なんて、そんな。
Yeah, I was just in a state of perpetual bewilderment from all the shocking topics being thrown at me, one after another.
今日した話、面白かった？
まあ、興味深かったです。
なら、また今度も聞いてくれる？ひなみ沢の昔話とかおとぎ話にも興味深いものがたくさんあるの。もちろん薄気味悪いのがたくさんね。私特選のをたくさん披露するわよ。
If we are lucky to pick another day after the Watanagashi festival, if we are not the victims of the curse. Yo ho 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 ho. I was kind of happy, but kind of worried. I cannot help but smile dryly and scratch at my head.
ケイチ君、もう行ってもいいんだよ。高野さんがからかっているだけさ。
They say goodbye again and went off. I heard Mitake-san call out behind him in a clear voice that we should see each other at the festival tomorrow. When I went to the tent, Miyano was waiting for me, and she was nowhere to be found. I made her wait so long, maybe she got mad and went home. After asking some adults passing by, I heard that she went home, talking to some relatives. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. But my regret for having made Mion wait wasn't enough to triumph over the impression Takano-san and Shion's uncanny story left on me. Serial murder incidents had happened 4 years in a row. Would tomorrow's events make this the 5th? And the possibility that someone from Hinamizawa was carrying this all out under the guise of the curse. The clear tradition of ritual sacrifice, entirely unbecoming of the Showa period we lived in. I regretted it a little, though it was too late. If none of those creepy stories had anything to do with me, then I should have let Neon pull me away from that crowd. I felt a little ashamed about letting my cheap curiosity get the better of me. And now I grabbed you into hell once more. Oh my. Free scrapbook notes and something about the festival. Festival's around the corner. Yes, indeed. I wonder what information we're going to be able to get out of this. Oyashiro-sama's curse. In the ancient Onigafuchi village, the anger of Oyashiro-sama, his curse, was feared above all. However, it is seldom stated anywhere what eventually happens, and what sort of divine judgment, curse, befalls them when Oyashiro-sama is angry. From various reports, all hell will break loose. Demons will come flooding out. The miasma from hell will flood outward and kill every villager, letting not a single one escape. The ones evoking images of the village being annihilated stand out the most. And these terrifying ideas of divine punishment are in alignment with many other religious beliefs regarding the apocalypse, hell. And it's easy to imagine that they are just ways of convincing people to obey the teachings in order to prevent such an end. The conditions for inciting Oyashiro-sama's wrath are likely the same as the taboos in Onigafuchi village. I believe that when an act was performed that violates one of these taboos, Oyashiro-sama was termed angry, and in order to quell his anger, they would perform the aforementioned sacrificial ritual. Alright. Now we're gonna get more about Oyashiro. The human sacrifice ritual. The sacrificial ritual was a simple drawing involving pledging sacrifices into Onigafuchi swamp, which was considered hallowed. Of the rituals of Onigafuchi village, this one was unique in that the sacrifice would sink slowly over the long course of 3 days and 3 nights. I believe that it wasn't so much the killing of the sacrifice that was important, but rather the symbolism of them sinking as the submerging of Oyashiro-sama's anger. For that purpose, they must have had a passion for learning various methods for keeping the sacrifice from sinking too quickly. to force them to sink more slowly. Oh God, I have quite the nightmarish image right now in mind. Unfortunately, as far as I can tell from the records, those methods were not recorded. My thoughts are that they may have used logs or some similar material to create a raft, then set up a scaffold on there, hung the sacrifice up with ropes, and let them sink little by little over them time into the swamp. Or there is one idea, but I think that I'm gonna mention it when I see it again, like tomorrow during the Watanagashi. It is something that I'm gonna have to see it myself yet again. However, if that were the case, it would not be strange if the ritual implements used for such a ceremony were honored as holy and enshrined somewhere. The thing is, though, if it is right the way I see it, like, if it is right the way I envision it, which I'm gonna mention it when the time comes, it could be possible for the other years, but I don't think that really is the case for Chapter 1. And again, I'm gonna mention that when the time comes. Implements used for the ritual. Ritual tools utilized for ancient religious ceremonies are commonly referred to as implements. You're probably wondering why am I not telling it like right now? I don't know. Like usually I say whatever is in my mind like straight away, but I don't know. I guess this time like today I feel secretive. And to give you a reason to watch the next parts as well, to wait for the answer. Or ritual implements. And even now, some of them are enshrined on the property of Furude Shrine and the Free Families. Oh, Free Families? Ooh, families. Hold on, let me read this again. Ritual tools for the religious ceremonies are referred as implements, ritual implements. And some of them are inside the shrine. However, the identifiable tools are all decorative, and none appear to have been used in rituals governing the dark side of Onigafuchi village. As the Edo era came to a close and many traditional rituals were lost, were they lost as well, or perhaps buried in the darkness? I don't believe so. Both the implements used on the night of the feast of Onikakushi, both the implements used on the night of the feast of Onikakushi, and those used during the sacrificial ceremony must still exist, enshrined away from the eyes of the masses. Without a doubt, they exist here, today, at this very moment in Hinamizawa. Also, I'm nearly certain where they've been shrined. What was once locked steadfastly has, for some reason, changed this year to a cheap-looking padlock. He may be able to do something about such a lock. He? For some reason they changed it. However, it is not far from the assembly hall, nor is it ever far from the presence of people. However, I will not give up. The night when it becomes a blind spot to every villager in Hinamizawa is coming soon. Soon it will be Watanagashi. Ooh. Higurashi is very great. Alright, time for the festival. Rubble, rubble, rubble.
おいおい、今日のうちからへばっててどうすんだよ。本番は明日だぞ。明日は最後の最後。バッチリ深夜まで燃え上がっていくんだからな。
よっせ、気合い入れてきますぜ。
よし、若さが一番だ。
みんなお疲れさん。綿流しはいよいよ明日だからな。今夜は早めに眠って体力を蓄えておいてくれよ。
Tomorrow was finally Watanagashi. Festivals are split into two groups: those who enjoy them and those who support them. The former only need prepare their minds, but the latter needs not only that, but also painstakingly crafted plans and preliminary arrangements. While the general majority attending goes about enjoying the festival without a care in the world, will be strained the whole way through. Why?
そりゃ決まってるだろう。全部終わった後のビールがうまいからだよ。
Is Komiya the principal? Because that's the voice of okay, not the same voice actor. Like I feel like I'm creating like a what is it called? Like I don't remember. It's not not deja vu. It's like I don't know. I'm gonna think about the word a little bit later. But like I'm creating like a confusion right over here. It's not the same voice actor as Kinzo. It's not. It just reminds me of it. Still, is that the principal, Komiyama? At times like these, it's best to have energetic, physically fit people. It wouldn't be worth it if you didn't do your best till the end, enjoying it the whole way.
ああ、来ました。
And Kumagai is also helping while we're here. I remember that Kumagai is Oishi's. I don't know if he's assistant or something like that, but he worked with Oishi as well. Oishi's son came in. Want her to stand up.
はいはい、皆さんお疲れ様ですね。そのままで結構ですよ。
お疲れ様です。
Not even my seniors, who usually talk big about themselves, can hold a candle to Oishi-san. We'll bow as if we were one of those cheering squads of old. Yes, bow to the god of aces. Kuraudo Oishi, a detective just waiting to retire. One who doesn't pay much mind to rules and regulations, and doesn't do too much in the way of real work. He looks like a rotten old man with a penchant for dirty jokes. My seniors, though, tell me he was a real fighter in his younger days, and that he may or may not have quite a heroic legend trailing behind him. Anyway, he surely had much more dignity and presence in the room than the section chief who came in with him.
皆さん、明日の綿流しの準備、本当にお疲れさんです。
If one present stands upright and lends their ear to the chief's directions.
昨年発生したように、連続事件を期待する愉快犯の出現が濃厚に危惧されます。各員、一層気を引き締め、犯罪の抑止のために任務を全うしてください。
おっせ！
何も起こらなければ一番いいんですがね。ですが皆さん、必ず事件は起こると考えてくださいよ。抑止が一番ですが、まあ多分無理でしょう。今年も誰かが死んで誰かが消えます。もう間違いなく。
Everyone, apart from the section chief, smiled painfully.
大石さん、そんなんじゃ困るよ。もっと真剣にやってくれなきゃ。
肝心なのは祭りの夜を越すことじゃないんです。明日の夜起こった何かに迅速かつ徹底的にどこまでも食いついていくこと。気合い入れてくよ。兜の尾を引き締めてき。お社様のたたりの化けの皮を完璧にひっぺかしてやるぞ。
Alright, well, you do your best, Oishi. I am gonna try my best to pay attention to the festival a little bit over here. Besides what I just said previously, but...
本当に伝えたいのは違う言葉だった。本当に感じたいのは違う心だった。すれ違いが溝を生み、ためらいの気持ちが人を恐怖へと沈ませる。もう誰も止められない。冷たい感情がむき出しの心を深く残酷にえぐってゆく。綿流し。なぜあの時とつぶやく後悔の言葉。それはもはや虚しい響きだった。わあ、ケイチくんだ。おはようなんだよ。
Well, as of now, I can't really say what all that meant, but... Miscommunication? Yeah, that's partly the gist of what has happened thus far, both in Chapter 1 and Chapter 2. Like, it makes you question how things would have been... Like, how different things would have been if the girls actually told everything to Keiichi. Even if maybe he would have been scared as fuck by learning whatever the truth the girls are holding, it would have been much better than... Probably would have been much better than what he went through. As for here as well, well... Keiichi did his mistake, but at the same time... There is a level of unfairness here as well. I mean, Rena did say so herself. I mean, not only is Shion, you know, playing along with the idea that Keiichi is confusing her with Neon, you know, at other points, Keiichi is the one who insisted, and Shion denied it. Not only that, but... Like, both the girls are definitely confusing Keiichi, that's for sure. And there's definitely a level of miscommunication. Like, I know Mion is not as direct when it comes to telling her feelings to somebody, especially to Keiichi and all that, but... Girl, you are making Keiichi suffer as well, goddammit. Like, with whatever the hell is going on behind the scenes. So, I beg of you to try your best as well. When I was ecstatically waving her arms at me, already brimming with energy.
おはようって、もう夕方だぜ。こんにちは、だろ。
She probably slept until this point.
でも、今日ケイチくんにする最初の挨拶だから、やっぱりおはようがいいな。いいな。
Well, I guess. You know, it's really difficult with time zones and, you know, I am from Europe, I have quite a few friends that are from America. It's kind of hard to salute somebody like the first time, like, what do I even say, like the way I say it like, good morning to you! And I pray that they are not gonna say the same thing to me, because in my case, it's evening. It's not good morning.
わかった。じゃあおはようでいい。おはよう、レナ。
I grabbed Rena's head and rubbed it into my hand. Oh, she squirmed, reveling in the motion like a cat.
やっほー、ケイちゃん。昨日は申し訳なかったね。黙って帰っちゃってさ。
Hi there, Mion.
ああ、それを言うなら俺の方が悪かった。ミオンをずっと待たせっぱなしでごめんな。
昨日のお祭りの準備のことかな。どうだったケイチくん。しっかりとお仕事してた？
Very much so. The slight muscle pain throughout my body and my sluggish movements were already obvious.
頑張ってたよ。へばってたけどね。
I grinned dryly, and the three of us break out into laughter.
さとことリカちゃんは祭り会場で合流か？
リカちゃんはほら大切なお勤めがあるから昨日からずっと。さとこちゃんもそのお供だそうだからもう二人とも神社にいるよ。
Alright, I just remembered. Today was Rika-chan's big performance. She'd been practicing especially hard for this day. As her friend, I needed to make sure I went and cheered her on.
よっしゃ早速行こうぜ。
Hi! As we got closer to the shrine, we started passing by more people and seeing a lot of parked cars. It began to get noisier too. I thought I could hear something like a Bond dance song. Without being able to restrain my impatience, I dashed up the entire flight of stone stairs.
ケイチ君早いよ。待って。
たくケイちゃんお子様なんだからな。
Whoa! The shrine grounds! They were packed with people. It was a festival if I ever saw one.
わあ、今年も立派だね。すごいね、すごいね。
ひなみざわ中から出てきてるんだろうな。ありゃ、君吉分家のおじいさんまで来てるじゃない。あのじいさん、去年の綿流しからずっと体調崩してたんだけど、元気になったみたいだね。
Yeah, there were a lot of villagers here that I didn't really know. The old man from the Kimiyoshi branch family. They must have all been pouring in just for today.
あ、さとこちゃんだ。はーい。あら、皆さんでございますの。
Hello there, Satoko.
こんにちはですわ。
ようさとこ、今日はすごい人出だよな。はぐれて迷子になるなよ。
誰が迷子になるんですの？
Satoko too seems somehow energetic. Of course, I'm the same way.
あれ？リカちゃんは？まだ自由時間でしょ？リカは村長さんたちと挨拶してましたですわ。すぐに来るでございますわよ。
I see. Rika-chan is the shrine maiden for today's festival, after all. It's probably a pain for her to say hello to all the others.
実に大変なのですよ。
Hello there, Rika.
こんにちはなのです。